In this video, we will demonstrate how to create a basic Eclipse project for Java and submit that project to Blackboard as an assignment. I am using Eclipse Proton, which is fairly current, but any reasonably current version should work. When you start Eclipse, it asks you for a workspace. The workspace will be the last workspace that you used the last time you ran Eclipse. You can enter a new workspace or you can take the default. Just be sure that you know where the workspace is and be sure that it is in a place that is accessible to you. It is probably not a good idea to put it on a Google Drive or some kind of remote drive that may have some sharing issues or some security issues. I recommend having it set to a local drive or a flash drive. Click Launch. Uncomfortable silence while we wait for Eclipse to open. Remember that the projects you create will be stored in that workspace unless you specify otherwise when you create the projects. Therefore, it's very important to know where the workspace is so you can access those projects in order to submit them or back them up or open them at a later date. Okay, Eclipse has opened. As you can see, there are some projects all in my workspace. This up a little bit just for the purposes of this video. As I'm doing this, note that when I select delete on a project from the Project Explorer, it will not delete the project from the drive. It only deletes the entry in the workspace. We're not deleting anything that we can't re-add to the workspace later. If you check the box, you are permanently deleting the code that you wrote in the project that you created, which is generally a bad idea. There's no problem then with just deleting these from the workspace. Our workspace is empty. I like to work with the Project Explorer. I keep this open all the time. If this is gone and you're in a mad panic because you no longer have a way to navigate your projects, Window, Perspective, Java will bring that back, but it also brings back a lot of other things that I don't use. I go to View and I select Project Explorer. Again, if there is no Project Explorer visible, Window, View, Project Explorer. At this point, Eclipse is open. We have the Project Explorer window open. We've selected a workspace. The next thing I want to do is create a project where I can write my assignment. I right-click in the Project Explorer and I select New and I select Project. I get the wizard. The wizard has a whole list of different kinds of projects. Unless otherwise indicated, we will always use a Java project. You may have to search for that in this list depending on whether you've used it before, but you will find Java project in here. Select Next. The project needs a name. Our naming convention is our 6+2, which is part of your email address, or your UCID, if you will, not your M number. And then an underscore, assignment, and then a 2-digit, 0 padded to the left, assignment number. So the first assignment that you do would be 01. The second assignment that you do would be 02. The default location is checked. The default location is in your workspace. That's the workspace you selected when you opened Eclipse just a few minutes ago. Nothing else has to change here. I would not recommend changing the default location unless you thoroughly understand what you're doing. Select Finish. Now you have a project. There's nothing in the project. If you expand it, we're going to put our code in the SRC or source folder. Right click on the folder, New, Class. We will always create classes in which to put our code. By convention, a Java class starts with an uppercase letter. By convention, we always put our classes in packages. A package is an organizational container because projects get excessively large and it's more convenient to manage all of our classes by segregating them into packages. By convention, a package starts with a lowercase letter. Eclipse went ahead and assumed a package name based on our project name. For that, at this point, that's great. We'll leave it that way. I may ask you to use a different package name later, but I'm perfectly happy with that one. The next thing you need to do is select public static void main. That's a place for you to put your code. You can type that in and you can create that main manually if you forget to check this box, but this makes it a little more convenient for you because Eclipse does some of the busy work, so you don't have to. Click Finish. Now you have a class. The first thing you should always do is build a comment header. And in the comment header, I want some standard information. This is the minimum amount of information that I want from you for every class that you create. This is a requirement. This is not an option. This information must always be provided in every class that you write. Some assignments will have multiple classes. They should all be documented this way. The citations field should be filled in with a list of where you got help. Did Stack Overflow help you? Did I help you? Did you find something in your book that you used in the code? So I want to know where your help came from. So you always cite your sources properly and you always describe where that help came from. Finally, anything else you want me to know? Does this program do something special? Is it broken? Does it need more work? Did you go beyond the call of duty? Did you add things that were not part of the assignment? Did you learn something interesting? Put it in there. Finally, let's put in some code. I always delete that to-do message. I'm waiting for Eclipse to catch up. Now I'm correcting my typo. And there's a complete working program with the minimal amount of documentation required in all the classes that you submit. To run that, click the green arrow, and in the console tab, you should see the output of your program. If you don't have a console tab, window, view, and then look for console to restore that tab. Okay, you have a working program. You feel confident. You're ready to turn it in. You've reviewed your documentation, you've reviewed your logic. You may wish to add more comments. As we get more complex with our assignments, the comments will become more complex and more detailed. Right now, the comments are just to demonstrate that we can write comments and to build good habits. Again, the comment header is a requirement for all the classes that you write, for all the assignments that you do. Now, I want to turn this in. Click the Save button just to make sure everything's saved. You do not simply turn in this file. You turn in the entire project in a single zipped file. Where is the project? Well, the most convenient way to access the project is to open the properties of the project, click on the Show button, and right there is the thing that you want to turn in. You turn in this entire folder. If you drill down into this folder, you will see that the structure mirrors the project that you've just created. But all you need to do is send it to a compressed folder and then submit this entire folder as your assignment. Don't use any other compression technique. I can't support all the compression utilities that are available. I only support Windows native file compression. After you've turned in this zip folder, you may delete it because you don't need it anymore, and you can always recreate it later. So we have seen how to open Eclipse, how to select a workspace, how to create a basic Hello World project and execute that project, and then zip that project for submission to Blackboard as an assignment. Pay particular attention to our naming conventions. Our project names are your UC 6+2 followed by an underscore followed by the assignment name, assignment 01, 0 padded to the left, so that all the assignment numbers are 2 digits wide, and that makes everything line up and sort properly when I process your work. Thank you.